Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins! Good afternoon, I'm Robin Banks, and welcome to the PODIUM GT-3 Championship 2022. The British Heart Foundation provides funding for research on all kinds of heart disease and defects. It's a very worthy charity, so we support it all we can, and you can too. Follow the link on the webpage, and any help you give, no matter how small, is extremely helpful. Round 1, we're at the incredible Alsace circuit located in the far east of France and surrounded by beautiful countryside running alongside the Rhine River. The track is mostly made up of public roads and pushes the limits of tyre wear to the extreme. There are some very difficult downhill braking zones and incredible cambered corners for our drivers to master. A good setup here is absolutely top of the list. The track is 3.4 miles in length with the longest straight of 0.2 of a mile and a total of 17 corners. A brand new competition awaits with some new drivers along with our seasoned pros ready to battle it out on track. In this, the second of the PODIUM GT-3 Championship. RICO MORTIS is our defending champion in this competition, and Team Rizzler are also our reigning team champions. We welcome our new drivers Lydia Champagne and Ken Glock, and we are thrilled to announce that V.CARASCO and Stu LeBouf have joined teams and are now full-time drivers. All the teams are now 4, and all points matter for everyone involved. We hope that they will enjoy this event and the journey we all take together. It's also good to see Dave Unshaw back after his run-in with the Territorial Weapons and Tactics Squad, and assured us it was just a misunderstanding, and he told them he had simply gone for a glass of water and it was purely coincidental. He was passing the lab. So let's join Dave, our ex-race driver and technical guru, down on the track, doing our first lap focus for this championship. How's it going, Dave?
Hey, thanks, Robin! We enter turn 1, second gear, 65 mile an hour called Kiosk, and then hammer on up the hill, hitting speeds of 157 mile an hour in 6th gear. Then we swoop around the left-hander and down into the chili dip. Hard on the brakes and down to 3rd gear, 74 mile an hour around the right-hander, and then easy on the gas. This bit can catch you out as the camber changes mid-part of the road. Into the left-hander, big back, 114 mile an hour 4th gear, and then shooting down towards French fries, 152 mile an hour 5th gear before stepping on the gas, and 3rd gear into French fries, 75 miles an hour. Round the corner we go, 134 mile an hour down towards Happy Meal. On the brakes, an 80 mile an hour 3rd gear around the corner, then back on the gas, down towards McFlurry, 118 mile an hour 4th gear, trying to maintain that speed around the right-hander. On the gas, and shooting down to 154 mile an hour 4th gear, before hard on the brakes, and into the left-hander, then the right-hander a milkshake, 50 mile an hour 2nd gear, easy on the gas on exit, and then up towards the hill, into the left-hander, 93 mile an hour 3rd gear, heavy on the gas all the way up the hill, holding on for dear life, you can't see anything at this point, and then down the hill, hammering onto the brakes into the chicken dipper, 66 mile an hour 2nd gear, into the left-hander, and then hard right again, and onto the main straight, and down towards the finish line. What's one hell of a lap, Robin? I'm absolutely knackered. It's going to be one hell of a race. Good luck, guys.
Well done, Dave. That's the first round. Lap focus done. So, as we go down to pit lane and take a look at the grid, it's 1st place for Damon Punterino, 2nd for Brian Messiah, 3rd Rico Mortis, and 4th for Carlos Punterino. Hale and Vanetti in 5th on the grid, 6th Scott Milano, 7th Vincent Carrasco, and 8th Archie Angelo, 9th Simon Bouquet, and 10th Wyatt, with Fabio Detrelli in 11th and Artie Fonati in 12th. Lydia Champagne in 13th, Ken Glock in 14th, and rounding out the grid in 15th is Stu LeBouf. So as we go down to the grid for the first round of the British Heart Foundation PODIUM GT-3 Championship, engines are a-revving. Everybody will be collecting their thoughts and keeping their eyes peeled on those lights. Here we go. Off we go. Rico gets an awful start. He's skidding, and Artie Fanati also gets a jump start. Vincent Carrasco dives up the inside into Kiosk. Vincent losing traction on exit. That will hinder his run up the straight. Rico manages to get through. Back with Halen Vanetti. Halen goes around the corner into the chili dip. Shoots up the inside of Scott Milano. What a lovely move from Halen Vanetti. Into Big Mac they go. Scott Milano, having none of that, pushes Halen Vanetti a little bit wide. Manages to get through by the look of it. Down towards French fries. Everyone getting way fairly clean. Bit of bumping going on here and there, but nothing to worry about. Lydia Champagne holding on to the back of the pack. Down towards Happy Meal. Very important to get a good exit out of here. It kind of swoops you around into McFlurry. On board with Artie Fanati. Into McFlurry, trying to get around Stu LeBoeuf. Can't make it happen, Stu holds him off. Down they go towards Milkshake. Artie Fanati's on the grass. Can he get it stopped before Milkshake? He does. Stu LeBoeuf dives into Milkshake, goes a little bit wide and ends up on the grass. He'll be kicking himself for that. So early on too. Up the hill they go and down towards the Chicken Dipper. Looking at Archie Angelo, he's in 10th place. Archie will be hoping for a good result in this championship. Team Alien looking good. Looks like someone just banged into the barrier. Not quite sure who that was. Down the hill towards the kiosk. Archie Angelo holding onto the back of his teammate, who in turns chasing Fabio Detrelli up the hill. They all get a good exit. Simon Bouquet is there as well. Simon hoping for a good result. Diving down into the chili dip. It's a very technical right-hander, hard to get right. And the road changes camera. Bouquet's gone off track onto the grass. He'll at least keep it trimmed for them. Lydia Champagne capitalizes on that. Bouquet collects his thoughts and chases after Lydia. Archie Angelo still hanging on the back of Fabio Detrelli. Fabio's running in 8th place. Archie tries to dive up the inside. Gets a lovely clean move into Big Mac. Down the hill towards McFlurry. Can Fabio retaliate? I don't think he can. Tries to go up the inside. Archie's got good speed through here. Down they go towards Milkshake. On board with Rico Mortis chasing Halen Vanetti. Trying to stay on the back of the front pack. David Punterino and Brian Messiah shot off like a pair of missiles. Those Beetles are very quick, people. Handling very well too in the hands of these guys. This is a really awkward part of the track here. Very steep down the hill, trying to get a good exit onto the start straight and past the pit entrance. Very sharp corner coming up, really difficult to get right. And there's like a bit of a rise and then it sort of levels out a little bit, which can easily throw the car off balance. Very, very difficult to get a good drive up the hill. Looks like Halen did just that, got a good drive. Almost on the back of Scott Milano. Can Halen replicate his move into this turn last time round? Scott holds him at bay. Scott doing a very good job so far. If he can hold 4th place, this would be a good result. Top 5 is always where everybody aims for. Rico dives up the inside of Halen Vanetti. Can't quite make it stick. Can Halen hold him off down into Big Mac? Around they go. Rico goes that wide and then cuts in tight. Gives him a good exit down towards McFlurry. Goes up the inside of Halen Vanetti around McFlurry. Can he make it stick without any contact? Lovely move by Rico. Halen hanging on for dear life. That's a really, really fast corner, people, and it's really steep as well. Into Milkshake. Back with Halen and Damon. Haven't seen them for a while. They've cleared off at the front. Down the hill they go towards the Chicken Dipper. Into the right-hander, then sharp left. Bryant's right on the back of Damon, not letting his teammate get away. There'll be no team orders this early in the championship, people. There are no friends in the first rounds of the championship, that's for sure. Lovely swoop around the kiosk and up the hill. Brian right on the back of Damon now. Looks like he got the better drive up the hill. Can Brian get around him on the inside and down towards Chilling Dip? He does. Lovely maneuver. Damon thinks about got on the inside. Brian swoops back in front of him, blocks his exit. Lovely maneuver by Brian Messiah. Can Brian win this? The first round, he is extremely strong at this track. I think he may well have been with a good shot, as long as he doesn't burn his tyres out and do his ballerina style. It's also worth mentioning that Carlos Punterino's hanging onto the back of these pair too. Back with Rico, trying to find a way around Scott Milano. Scott's having none of it at the moment. He really is doing a good job in that Porsche. Down they go around McFlurry. Can Rico replicate the same move and go on the inside? He tries to go around the outside. Can he cut back on the inside and make it before a Milkshake? Scott's holding him off. Who's late on the brakes? That's what's going to work here. Scott slightly later on the brakes. Rico almost spins Scott Milano out, but yields, and Halen Van Eddy finds his way through as well. That could have been absolute disaster for Scott Milano. That was a very, very, very lucky move. Fabio hanging on to the back of Ken Glock. He's half human, half machine, apparently. Seems to be quite good at driving, though. Down the hill they go into the chicken dipper. Slap into the right and slap into the left. Down towards the main straight. Vincent Carrasco's crashed. Can we get a replay? Take a look at that. Not sure where he crashed. Yellow flags are out. Here we go. Oh, he's coming out of the kiosk. Loses traction. He did that on the first corner of the first lap. Very tricky. Takes a while to get the hang of it. Come in, Dave. Doors open. I was just watching Vincent Carrasco lose the rear coming out of kiosk gate, Dave. Hi, guys. Yes, that is a really tricky corner. There's no doubt about that. I've fired a few pairs of tear-offs out coming over there. We watch Rico go back up the inside of it. Halen Van Eddy. Can he swoop around him into Big Mac? Gets the job done. Looks like normal service has been resumed, Dave. I think Rico's got good pace. Got good pace today. He's really strong in that BMW, as he's already won a championship in it. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get a good result here today. Scott's losing the back end by the look of it. Rico's trying to go up the inside. Depends who gets the drive out of the corner. Side by side they go up the hill towards the chicken dipper. Can Rico make a move down through here? It's not the best place to overtake, that's for sure. It's one scary piece of track, Robin, I can tell you. You make one mistake here and that's both of you gone. Scott swoops back in front of Rico. Blocks the exit. Halen Van Eddy hanging onto the back of them. In towards the kiosk. Vincent Carrasco's nemesis, I should think by now. This is definitely not an easy track, Robin, I can tell you. When I did my lap focus, it took me probably about 10 laps to get used to this track, and my word, doesn't it scrub off the tyres. Unreal. Yes, a lot of the guys are saying that the tyres do wear on this quite a lot, Dave. They're probably good for, I'd say, what, 3 laps maybe, and then they start to drop. And, you know, if you're doing, say, a 7-lap run, your laps 6 and 7 is hanging on for dear life. There's Rico losing traction now. And what are we on, lap 6? I see what you mean, yes. It's very, very slippery if the tyres get overheated and start to go off. Simon Bouquet and Artie Fedati in a bit of a battle. Simon Bouquet lining up a move into Happy Meal. Here we go. Artie goes way wide. Bouquet right up the inside. Lovely move by Simon Bouquet. Can he hold Artie off down into McFlurry? Bouquet stays on the inside. Artie trying to go around the outside. Simon desperately trying to hold him off, cuts back in. Takes the shortcut round McFlurry down towards Milkshake. Can Bouquet hold him off? Into Milkshake they go. Bouquet shutting the door and Artie Fedati.
Will the group of Muppets who think it's funny to be skinny dipping in the river by the track please put their clothes back on? If any of our drivers catch an eyeful, there could be a serious accident. Thank you.
I thought we'd left him behind, Dave. I didn't realize he'd be following us into this championship as well. Do you know where Crispin lives? Looks like Fabio's crashed. We get a replay of that. Not sure, quite sure what happened there. Coming down the hill, looks like it. Here we go. Oh, lost it on the left-hander. Easy done coming out of there. All the weight transfers to the other side of the car, and it's very easy to spin out there. You were saying, Dave? Yeah, what was I saying? You were about to tell us where Crispin lives, Dave. Yes, that's right. Crispin lives in a tent. He follows the, what we call the circus, around the world, and he lives in a tent on in the track grounds. Is that guy with like the beard and the hair and looks like he hasn't had a wash for about 10 years? Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's Crispin. Yeah, what a mess. A multi-millionaire to a Burke living in a tent on a track. And stinking the place out too. And he was skinny dipping in the river as well. Carlos Punterino running in third place, lap 7. Carlos trying to get a handle on this Lexus. Lovely sounding car, Dave. I tell you what, it's music to my ears listening to this car going past. I love it. It does sound good. Definitely sounds like it's music to everyone's ears, I think. It's got a lovely roar to it. Definitely picked a nice sounding car. Whether it's any good on track or not's a different matter. Time will tell. It always takes a while to dial in a car. This is probably not the best track in the world to start with, but you know, you've got to start somewhere. They'll when they get to Catalonia next week, it'll be all systems go, I should think. Elon Vanini going on out towards the chicken dipper, shooting past Simon Bouquet, hanging a trout into the what we call a chicane, really, I suppose, Dave. Yes, a bit like an extended chicane, I suppose. Brian Messiah helling up the hill. The Beatles roaring for mercy. 4th place. He must have got in the pits, I should think. Set the fastest lap so far. I think he'll be good in this championship, Dave. He was runner-up in the Jenny Tillwalk Cup, GR2. Would not surprise me if Brian can pull this off and, you know, leave this season as champion. We'll see. Very fast, but this guy, he is rapid, I'll tell you that. David Punterino in practice, people, I tell you, he is some guy. Sets some hell of a good times in this car. No one could get close to him. Will be interesting to see if he can set the fastest lap in this. He's got pole already, that's 5 points. If he can set the fastest lap in this race, he could be, get some serious point haul in the first round. That'll do his championship the world of good, that will. Yes, and it's not just the points, Dave. The confidence that you get from doing well in a round really does help. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing better for confidence building than getting inside the top 5. Definitely not, and a win is just mind-blowing, I'll tell you. Looking at WYATT. Joined Team Alien as a permanent driver this championship. Great to see WYATT on track with us. And the newly reformed Archie Angelo, Dave. I have high hopes for Archie in this championship. I think he's going to come really good. This'll be him getting used to the car. These lot of Wyatt's just let Archie through because he knows he's faster. That's why they're flashing at each other. Is that what it was? I thought he was hurling abuse. No, we definitely stepped aside down at the chicken dipper, that's for sure. Great to see a female driver, Dave, Lydia Champagne. I think she's going to come good, you know. Again, you know, finding your feet, getting used to the car, getting used to how the championship runs, you know, getting used to the tyres, the fuel settings, all that. Once you get that in, talk of the devil, you will, you know, you can do well. You really can. Car looks fantastic. She looks nice and smooth. I would say, yeah, give it a few rounds and she'll be challenging the guys, I should think. I think it's fantastic to have a female driver on the grid. Love it. Could do more of those. Really, you know, call the boys to order, as it were. So long as she doesn't follow in the footsteps of Satina Bouquet, because I caught her coming out of Bouquet's motorhome with, well, all I can say is she had a whip, and I don't know what the hell was going on in there. I thought they were having a row with all the screaming that was going on. So high-pitched, sounded like Edina. But then I heard Satina say, for God's sake, keep your voice down, man. You know, I've heard of some of the drivers talk about strange goings-on in Bouquet's motorhome. Yes, it's one of those sort of like legends, I think. I know one thing, he refused to sit down in the pit box, that's for sure. He stood up the whole time he was in there. Must have been thrashed within an inch of his life, Dave, I should think. I wonder what he did wrong. Yes, oh, I wonder. Oh dear, blimey. Anyway, you better do some commentating. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. We were just having a discussion about our much-loved member of the circus, Simon Bouquet. Back with David Punterino, being chased by Carlos Punterino, his cousin. Down into McFlurry. Around they go. So we're almost at the halfway point in the race, folks. So let's go down to pit lane and have a quick word with our ex-physical trainer and loquacious guru, Jacked Up. How's it going, Jack? Very thanks, Robin. I'm down here in pit lane talking to one of the lab technicians, Arthur Brain, from Hans-Hoff Furberger's team, to find out if there are any new developments going on at the moment. Hello, Arthur. Nice to meet you. What can you tell us?
Well, not much, Jack, I'm afraid. We do have some new gadgets on the horizon, and Tear Off Underpants system's getting a bit of an overhaul. Now we have a female driver on grid, we don't want any misfires, I can tell you. I know Artie Fanati had a misfire in practice earlier today, and definitely did not come out of that smelling of roses.
Aye, he was in a bit of a mess. From a distance, he looked like a working Mars bar, melting in the sun with no wrapper on.
Well, I wouldn't stand too close to him for a couple of days if I were you, unless you have a fly swat handy. I noticed his wife straight away set up a camp bed outside motorhome. We also had to tweak Ken Glock and all. A little bit of his software had a few bugs in it. His head is now facing right way, so that should help in race. That's about all for now, I think.
Thank you, Arthur. You've been very helpful. There you have it, Robin. There's lots going on in the world of tech. I will keep my ear to the ground, though. Back to you. Very thanks, Jack. That Arthur Brain sounds like a very intelligent fellow, Dave. I'll tell you what, Robin, he is one of Hans-Hoff's, he's literally Hans-Hoff's right-hand man. Pietra left, so, you know, Arthur took over. I hear he is absolutely amazing at building engines. Well, he's in the right place, Dave, that's for sure. Brian Messiah chasing Rico. This is lap 11. Rico's in second place. Carlos Punterino's not far up the road, I shouldn't think. Who was that got off winding? It looked like Stu LeBoeuf got off track again. Brian hanging on to the back of Rico. If I were Rico, I would look in that mirror, that's for sure. Swerving all around. Brian like an annoying wasp. Down into the chicken dipper they go. Into that right-hander, then immediately left. Try not to bash that barrier on the way out. Down they go, towards the kiosk. Brian takes a look up the inside, thinks better of it. Around they go, who gets a good drive up the hill? Brian's normally pretty good out of the kiosk. Definitely taking a look up the inside of Rico. Rico stays out wide. He normally turns in a bit earlier than that, but he's definitely stayed out wide to let Brian through. Down towards the chili dip they go. Although Rico's pretty good out of here, he has a bit of an unusual line, but it seems to work. He'll soon be on the back of Brian. He is, he's not letting him get away. I would imagine Rico's tyres have about had it by now as well, Dave. Rico's pretty good on tyres, but this track will definitely put that to the test, that's for sure. Damon Punterino looking up the inside of Scott Milano. Makes a hell of a move on Scott Milano. Almost lost the car in the process, I think. Scott's saying, I'm having none of that, come back here. Slamming on the brakes and swooping into Happy Meal. Getting a good exit out of here really, really sets you up for McFlurry. It's a great piece of track, Robin, I'll tell you. That McFlurry, the camber on it is incredible as you go around there. You can go round there like a flash. It does like a very fun part of the track, Dave. Oh, here we go.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Can the group of people down on the river skinny dipping please put their clobber back on, please? You have already caused several accidents. Vincent Carrasco, who was rubbernecking, has had a serious accident and is now being spatulaed up and put in a bucket and on his way to hospital. Thank you.
Blimey, Dave, Vincent must have had a serious accident to end up in a bucket, that's for sure. He's had several accidents already, Robin. I think he tenderised himself up a bit, to be honest. He has been slapped about a bit, that's for sure. Probably not as much as Bouquet, though. I would not call it slap, I would call it fresh. Perhaps we should write a new song for Bouquet and call it Fresh. Ah. Very good, Dave. Very good. More like fresh. Oh! Don't tell him we said this, people. For God's sake, he won't like it. Oh, I don't know. Blimey, he'll take it in good stride. I know. If I know Bouquet, Saturday might not be too happy though, Dave. She'll probably give him a bit of extra swing, I would have thought. So we're on lap 13, folks. V.CARASCO in position 11. Porsche guys are struggling a little bit on this round. Scott Milano seems to have found a bit of something somewhere, but Fabio and Artie are struggling a little bit. Carlos Punterino's running in first place at the minute, but he's got Brian Messiah all over the back of him. Can he hold him off down into the chicken dipper? Down they go. Brian looks for a way around. He's right on the back of Carlos now, going into the right-hander. Carlos is sliding around a little bit. Could be tyres going off. Brian's on his tail. Can he get it? Oh, looks like they're both going into the pits. Back with Archie Angelo. He's got Rico Mortis for company. Rico looking for a way past. Archie could well pit this lap. He may well do. Yeah, I think he will. He looks like he's holding Rico up. Archie Angelo goes into pits. Back with Lydia Champagne, doing a fantastic job, keeping it on the grey stuff. Really, really good to see. Looking very swish in that lovely purple Beetle. Catching a bit of the grass. Round she goes down towards Milkshake. Very tricky part of the track. Got to swing hard left and then hard right straight away, whilst on the braking zone at the same time, and try not to go too wide so you overshoot the corner. Here she comes on the rise up towards the chicken dipper. Blind going up here, folks. Back with Stu LeBouf, running in 14th. Stu really struggling a bit, I think. What happened to Stu's livery, Dave? I have a funny feeling that Stu is using the loan car. I'm not sure whether he's actually made it to the circuit, but yeah, it looks like he's using the loaner, that's for sure. I take it that the loaner might not be set up properly. Would that be the case, Dave? Could well be. Could well be. That's why he's struggling. Although this track is really hard on tyres, we've said that many times, and it is. This guy's also struggling as well. I thought they took him to the medical centre. He must have made a full recovery, I should think. Yeah, I thought that too. I don't know whether that Burke Fry is making it up. Employed by Pillux or us, no doubt, Dave. More than likely. Back with Carlos Punterino in third. Lap 15. This one and 5 more to go, folks. This is really going to hot up towards the end. Everybody wants to end on a high. Always the case. Carlos trying to catch Brian. David Punterino's running in first. Can he make it a win, Dave? I hope so. I really do. I'm rooting for Damon. He's got the pace. He's just got to, like I say every time, he's just got to drag it all together and make it work. He is blisteringly fast. There is no doubt about that. He seems to find something. I don't know whether it's on the track or on the car, but he seems to find something that others, struggle to find. Could it be track knowledge, Dave, or has he just got a good team under him? I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. Yeah, definitely a bit of both. And as well, he's always the first out on track. He puts loads of practice in, which is, that could only help. That's very true, Dave. The more, like always with racing, the more you put in, the more you get out, that's for sure. He really does take it on board. Scott Milano this round has been doing a phenomenal job. In 6th place, still battling it out with Archangelo. Can Scott get into the top 5 or even make the podium? We're all rooting for Scott. As they head into a little bit of traffic, they've got Stu Limuth to deal with before they shoot into Milkshake. Stu does the right thing and pulls over to one side to let him through. Well done, Stu. David Punterino's got into the pits. He's having a last minute dash, Dave, I should think. I was just looking at that. Yeah, more than likely he's going to put on fresh tyres and he's going to go like the wind. Watch this space, folks. David Punterino will be on fresh tyres for the last few laps of the race. Back with Brian Messiah in first. If he could just bring it home. Can Brian make the win, Dave? He's certainly in a good position now. I don't think he'll pit again. As long as he manages his tyres and fuel and holds that gap, he should bring this home. All the while being hounded by Carlos Punterino, and RICO MORTIS is in third place as well. He will be watching that gap time very, very closely, I can tell you. He's also set the fastest lap in the race, folks, so if he manages to hold that time, that'll give him an extra 5 points. So if he wins this, he'll bring home a tally of 30 points in the first round. That's a really good start, Dave. That's a great start to your campaign. And don't forget that Damon also took the 5 points for fastest qualifying lap as well. We never expected anything less, to be fair. These last few laps are hotting up with Scott Milano almost on the back of Archangelo. Down towards McFlurry they go. Scott tries to go off the inside. Can he make it stick? Swoops right around the inside of Archangelo. Archie's trying all he can to hold him off. Can Scott cut in? They make contact. Down towards Milkshake they go. Who's best on the brakes? This now or never for Scott Milano. Swoops right in front of Archangelo into the right-hander. What a lovely move by Scott Milano. Looks like Vincent Carrasco's crashed again. Up the hill they go, very fast. Vincent Carrasco's on the track. Both of them crash into the side of Vincent Carrasco. Let's take a look at what happened to Vincent. Went too wide on the corner, caught the barrier, then come back on track, and the cars, both of them, slammed into the side of Vincent. If he wasn't in the medical center before, he will be now. That was one hell of a crash. That was very unlucky, that was. I don't think Vincent knew they were coming. He just trying to get back on track and, right on the racing line. Poor old Vincent, he's had a really torrid round, Dave. His best option is, pending injury, is to, regroup, reset the mind, and get some practice in and burn them off on the next round, Robin. You are right about David Punterino. He is really going for it. He's set the fastest lap sector at the moment. He could take that 5 points away from Brian Messiah. I knew he would. I knew that's what he was going to do. That's the idea. Archangelo got back past Scott Milano, so he had to do it all again. Scott overtakes him into the chilly dip. Lovely maneuver by Scott Milano. Can he hold him off this time? Hopefully no more scrap on the track. Into French fries they go. Archie's desperately trying to hold on to the back of him. Back with WYATT to be very quiet this race. Going about his business. Running in a very, very good 8th place at the moment. Top 10. And then top 5 is your next targets, and then ultimately the win. But yes, top 10 is a fantastic result, Dave. Pending he brings it home, it will be first round. Brilliant. Find your feet. Get inside the top 10. Awesome job.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to inform you that Vincent Carrasco has this time stayed inside the medical center. He is suffering from eye strain and a crick neck. Due to the pillocks down by the river who are skinny dipping, you are really breaking his concentration and he cannot continue. Security forces are on their way to remove you bare-skinned bozos from the circuit. Thank you.
My word, Dave, Vincent's had a torrid time, and I know he would definitely be looking at what they're up to, that's for sure. I don't understand why they didn't move those Burks earlier, to be honest with you, Robin. He could have avoided a lot of this. Anyway, I'm going to go down the trackside and watch the end of the race, so I bid you farewell, people. Enjoy the rest of the race. See you next week. Bye. Many thanks, Dave. Enjoy yourself. It's going to be one hell of a finale, I think. So we're back with Damon PUNTERINO, who is giving it all he's got. He is really closing in on RICO MORTIS in 3rd place. Can he take this away from RICO in the final few laps? He is really wanting this podium, and it looks like he is on rails at the moment. Really going for it. Down into Milkshake, very, very tricky part of the track. I know I've said it many times, but it really is. Exit is also bad. There's a dip in the road as you go out, so you really got to watch that traction on the way out. Up the hill, over and down into the Chicken Dipper. Carlos PUNTERINO. Looks like Brian Messiah's clearing off into the distance. Carlos PUNTERINO looks like he's maybe getting RICO MORTIS for company. Can RICO make this a second? He could well do this. Into the kiosk they go, and out Carlos loses a bit of traction. That'll allow RICO to get up onto the back of him if he's not careful. All the way up the hill on the long drag towards the chili dip. Around they go and down into the chili dip. RICO's definitely gaining some ground. Down they go. RICO's almost on the back of Carlos now. Both of them are probably struggling at this point to maintain grip, I should think. Lydia Champagne, one of the back markers. Can they get past Lydia nice and clean? Hopefully he won't interfere with the race too much. Carlos looks like he's making the move. Brian's trying all he can to maintain that gap. Doing a phenomenal job is Brian Messiah. I think he so deserves this win. RICO, Carlos got past Lydia. Can RICO get through? Doesn't want to get held up. He's almost on the back. Around McFlurry they go. RICO looking for a way around Lydia Champagne. Lydia pulls back in front of RICO. Looks like she's realised he's there and let him through. Good to see drivers abiding by the blue flag rules. Into the right-hander they go. RICO's almost on the back of Carlos. Can he get the drive out of the bottom end of the corner up towards the Chicken Dipper? Carlos pulls a little bit of a gap. RICO doing all he can. We're almost on the final lap, folks. Down the hill they go into the Chicken Dipper. All the while, Damon PUNTERINO making ground. Trying desperately to get onto the back of RICO and pinch that 3rd place. He'll have a massive grin on his face if I know Damon. They're in sight now. They're not too far off. The final lap, people. Into the kiosk they go for the last time and up the hill. Lydia Champagne hanging on to the back of Carlos and RICO. All the while, Damon PUNTERINO gaining ground. Up they go and round the corner and down into the chili dip. It's RICO's almost on the back of Carlos PUNTERINO. Around the right-hander they go. Can RICO get him on it? Get some ground on the exit? RICO loses control and goes onto the grass. He'll be kicking himself for that. That's just a little bit too much throttle on worn tires. That'll do it. Can he regain composure? Damon PUNTERINO's right on the back of RICO now. 3rd place is in sight for Damon PUNTERINO. RICO goes into French fries. Can he hold it? No. RICO slides onto the grass. Disastrous end to the race for RICO MORTIS. What a shame. Damon PUNTERINO, if he holds this together, gets the 3rd place on the podium. Brian Messiah coming around McFlurry and down towards Milkshake for the final time. In he goes, put on a great show as Brian. Really deserves this win, in my opinion. Into the right-hander. Holding it on. Do not make a mistake now, Brian. Carlos Punterino's not that far behind. Up the hill he goes. Over the brow and down into the chicken dipper. Hard on the brakes. Into the right-hander. Knows he's got this. He'll also have a massive smile on his face. Into the left-hander, minding the barrier on exit. Brian Messiah wins the first round of the British Heart Foundation Podium GT-3 Championship. With Carlos Punterino in second and Damon Punterino takes a very well-deserved third place. Poor old RICO limps back in fourth, but also a good result. Top 5 finish. Well done. Scott Milano brings it home in fifth. Fantastic, Scott. Awesome result. Archie Angelo bringing it home in 6th place. That's a great result for Team Alien. Halen Van Eddy over the line at 7th. WYATT in 8th place. All of them doing their victory, smashing into the barriers. Artie Fenati bringing it home in 9th. Gained a few places after that awful start. And Simon Bouquet crosses the line in 10th place. V.CARASCO bringing it home in 11th. Lydia Champagne in 12th. So let's take a look at the final race positions. In first place, we have Brian Messiah, with Carlos Punterino in second, Damon Punterino in third, and Rico Mortis in 4th place. 5th place for Scott Milano, 6th for Archie Angelo, 7th for Halen Van Eddy, and 8th for WYATT. 9th for Artie Fenati, 10th for Simon Bouquet, and 11th for F.DTRELLI. 12th place for Lydia Champagne. Stu LeBoeuf, Ken Glock, and Vincent Carrasco did not finish, and Alex Handers did not race. So let's take a look at the podium. Congratulations to Brian Messiah for an incredible victory, with Carlos Punterino in second and Damon Punterino joining them with a very well-deserved 3rd place. So let's take a look at the championship results after round 1. In first place, we have Brian Messiah on 30 points, Damon Punterino on 21 points, and Carlos Punterino on 20 points. Rico Mortis with 13 points, Scott Milano on 11 points, and Archie Angelo on 10. Halen Van Eddy on 9 points, with WYATT on 8, Artie Fenati on 7, and Simon Bouquet on 6 points. V.CARASCO with 5 points, and Lydia Champagne on 4. Our no scorers are Stu LeBoeuf, Ken Glock, Alex Anders, and Vincent Carrasco. So let's take a look at the team championship. With a whopping 54-point haul, at top of the table is Team Simitic, with Team Alien on 38 points in 2nd place. 3rd place for Sky Sports with 23 points, and Team Rizzler at the bottom of the table with just 19 points. Well, that's it, folks. Next week we broadcast from Catalonia in Spain for round 2. So for now, from me, Dave, and the team, thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.
I'm an outcast running my own